What is going on, LBHT crew? B Hendo, what is going on?
Not much.
Special guest means a third of the work.
Facts. And we love doing less work. Who doesn't? Listen, training camp has started. There's a lot to talk about, not just in football, but just sports world. People are getting paid. I love when athletes get paid, being Hendo. I love it. So
everybody but Saquon.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about that too. I didn't put that. I should have put that in the on our lineup. I wasn't sure if we were going to discuss it here or discuss it in the overtime show. And I cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen, to get to the overtime show. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now what we're going to discuss on the overtime show.
Zane's very excited about
that.
this.
I am very excited. Just as excited as B is to discuss his Black History fact today. We are very excited today.
I'm always excited for that. Always excited.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I never remember to put the pictures up, because I'm always excited.
Yes, for sure. But this is a special one. This is look at him smiling. Look at him smiling. You guys have heard. You've heard of cocaine cowboys. You've heard of cocaine bears. Have you heard of cocaine sharks? Yes. Now, that is from a movie, Cocaine Shark. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's real. Yes, and we're going to discuss it on the overtime show. I cannot wait. So this is the part that's making me smile. But there is something we gotta get to after Black History Fact that it's kind of serious, Ravens flock, and we have to discuss it. And it's not a smiling matter. I am not happy right now. All right, but we're going to discuss that. We gotta discuss Jaylen Brown becoming the richest player in NBA history. Hendo is not happy about it. He's not happy. I'm happy for Jaylen Brown. Okay, I'm happy because I think now that he's got his money, he's going to ask for a trade. I see that coming. Right. But we'll discuss that in the NBA section. There was a fight that went on yesterday morning. We streamed on our boxing channel, Ring Kings podcast. So the monster Inoue defeated Stephen Fulton. We'll talk about that as well. We have a lot to discuss. But before we get into the Black History Fact, we start every show with the Black History Fact. We do have some great news. If you were watching us, and I know you were, on Monday on Coach's Stream for the Ravens Roundup, we said that we might have to move venues for this August 4th meet and greet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bus Boys and Poets came to their senses, and we are back on. Okay, we are back. So, Bus Boys and Poets, it's a go for August 4th. So you don't have to make any. Well, the other place we were looking at, you weren't gonna have to make any real changes to your travel arrangements, but it's still going on. Bus Boys and Poets. I know some people asked us on Twitter about that. We're good to go. Same time, same place. Get your tickets. Get them soon. Okay, it's next Friday. So go and get your tickets. If you don't know about it, if you're just getting back into the swing of things and you're coming back to our channel, you don't know what we're talking about, the Roundup meet and greet next Friday in Columbia, Maryland at Bus Boys and Poets. We will all be here on your screen. Coach Evans from Sit to Tally Films, Chris Just Joking from Deep Cover Podcast, and our guy OTR Mike from Open Mic with OTR Mike. We will all be in attendance. Also, Ferris from LGR Network, the highlights, will be in attendance as well. So it's going to be food, drinks, alcoholic drinks via cash bar. Okay, music. We're giving away prizes, all that good stuff. So get your tickets today. All right. So let me give a couple shots here. Living Big with Big Reg is in the house. What's going on?
Reg Bayless.
Bazel's in the house. What's going on, Bazel? I got Mr. Galloway. Salute to you. Another dope episode, Hendo, you and Dre put out yesterday. It was yesterday? The day before?
Yesterday.
When we wake up to watch a fight at 8 a.m.,
everything's a blur. Yeah.
Right.
Down is up is down. Like
time is a construct, my friends.
Facts. Go check him out, Mr. Galloway. So subscribe to him. Raven Ron's in the house. What's up, LBHT? Herbert not 2.5 million better than Lamar, but it's the market. That's a fact. We'll get into that as well. We'll get into that. Who was we got here? Oh, Hendo. It's the robot.
Get them points.
Yeah, yes. We'll have to discuss the point system as well for people that are just coming back to the channel. Jeremy, make sure he gets his points every week because he submits his questions on time. What's going on, Jeremy? Thanks for coming through. Yolanda B in the house. Salute to you, Yolanda. Appreciate your support over the years and still here supporting us. Appreciate that. D Weezy talking about support. D Weezy been listening to us before we even had a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I bet D Weezy could identify the original Lunch Break Hot Take crew. Okay, because we had some other people. They still in the background. You haven't seen them on video. We keep on trying to bring them on, but we had some people that used to be on a couple of our episodes. If you listen to the old original episodes, you'll know who they are. All right, D Weezy knows. Just Aloe's in that house. What's going on? Says LBHT crew. What up? I hope all is well. Hope all is well with you. Go man, what's going on? Thanks for coming through, brother. Appreciate you. Look at that. Mikey says that comes on at 10 p.m. Zay. What comes on at 10? What comes on at 10? He's talking about boxing? I missed it, Mikey. Put it at the bottom. I missed it. Oh, and we got a donation. I ain't gonna miss that. From Suge Knight 323.
What's up, Suge?
He says, great seeing these great streamers on the screen. It's been one of those days, but what would cheer me up if Hendo can give that motivational speech he gives at the end of his streams would really help me out. Great stream and go Steelers. Yes, Suge is a Steelers fan, but he does a Ravens show. Go figure, right. Okay? Steel Conspiracy you can find on Tuesday nights, okay? Go subscribe to Suge's channel. Look, Coach is in the house. Coach is going to be on the channel here. He's going to be on the show here pretty soon. We're going to dedicate a good amount of time discussing his power rankings. The list came out. It was down to 1 or 2 for the Ravens. Okay, if you've been following along, he's been unveiling a team every day. So it came down to the Ravens and the Eagles for 1 and 2. Who's number 1? You should know because you should have watched the video. Okay, it came out at 6 o'clock, but we're going to be discussing it. We're going to go through the whole power rankings. In case you haven't been keeping up, we're going to recap everything and discuss what went into this. You don't want to miss that. All right. But if you look at the thumbnail, Lamar is giving you a hint. Agent E, what's going on? Thanks for coming through, man. Chocolate Lady Cap, salute. Thanks for coming through. Marco G's in the house says, what's good, fellas? Before anyone else gets hurt, Ravens got to bring in an exorcist to get the spirit demon of Saunders out of here. Well said.
Yeah.
T Sizzle's in the house. What's going on, T Sizzle? Oh, he's talking about cracked out sharks. Yes. The cocaine sharks. Yeah.
It's Jose posted a picture from the movie. It's also a documentary.
Yes. Yeah, that picture that I showed is not from the documentary. That is from a movie that actually came out in May. Did they know, B? Did they know?
They did, yes.
Yes, cocaine sharks. Cocaine sharks. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is not fake. What's going on, King 95? Thanks for coming through.
What's up, King?
Long time.
Yes, it's been a while. Just Al says Lamar out here handing out nicks. Okay. Oh, nicknames. He means nicknames. Oh, yeah. That's his team. Phantom City, or Phantom Cyborg. I'm sorry. He says, "What's good, y'all? Thanks for coming through." Rave Kingdom, I see you. All right, I think I got everybody. And listen, Stream Elements bot is equipped. Okay, he's activated. You know, he's going to be reminding you throughout the stream to like and subscribe. He's going to remind you to get your tickets for the August 4th meet and greet. Okay, this is not Nightbot, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Nightbot is not going. This guy, he's the friendlier version of Nightbot. He's not going to kick anybody out. He's going to be nice as long as you guys are being respectful. Okay, so you know, When he puts a link in there, it's safe. You can click on it and you can get your tickets. All right. If you want to know how many points that you have, you just ask him politely. You put exclamation points and he'll tell you how many points you have. Okay. And you need to get at least 1,000 points to qualify for our monthly giveaway. Okay. Agent E won the giveaway last month. Right. What did he get? Gift card?
Gift card.
He won the random giveaway. Yes, he got a $25
That's what I mean.
Amazon gift card.
Yeah, but you like the person with the most points gets a prize.
Yeah.
Yes, the person with the most points. So if you get the most points, you get a prize, and there's all kinds of ways that you can get points. And one of them is right here.
Yeah, I just realized this is the last Wednesday of the month.
Yes. So Elias says, "I'm always lurking. Let's go Ravens. Salute to you. And that's how you can get points right there, by donating, just being in the chat, being active in the chat. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, right? Sign. If you want an easy 1,000 points right now, you don't want to do anything else. You go over to LBHTShow.com. And when that green pop-up pops up saying, put in your email, sign up for our newsletter, you put your email in there, let us know.
Well, that was you, Rave? Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, okay. Salute, Rave.
Thank
Salute. Sign up for the newsletter. Let us know, and you get 1,000 points. Easy peasy. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, what's going on, Tracy? Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. All right. Okay. Oh, and we got. Oh, okay. They heard the donation part. Anonymous says, "Yo, love what y'all doing. Been following a while now. Keep up the great content, my brothers. Just supporting and love. Oh, just showing support and love. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Rogue Pod. So Hendo says, get your tickets. Yes, get your tickets. Salute. Really appreciate that. So, all right. Look, we already spent 12 minutes in here. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you are listening to this, it is the next day, Thursday. It is lunchtime, and we hope you are enjoying your lunch break. Okay, let's get into this show. B has been waiting. He will wait no longer. He has a Black History fact for you. Let's go.
Before Black History fact, I do want to say shout out to Hendo for all his support. You know, he's always here. He's always donating. We really appreciate it. He is actually leading the loyalty points. So one-time offer. If anybody out there wants to combine points to take Hendo down, we are accepting applications. Appreciate y'all. But thank you, Hendo.
No problem. Hey,
thank
Jeremy.
you, Hendo. We appreciate
no problem. Jeremy, what's in my background? That's my new shirt. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah, you put it right in the center, and then you're in the center as well. So it's a little difficult to see, but the logo is really nice.
The answer is go to roguepod.com. Did I get it right? Roguepod. Is it Roguepod or the Roguepod?
It's Spread Shop, the Rogue Shop.
Okay. No, for your website.
Oh, my website is theroguepod.com.
Theroguepod.com. Okay, and
yes,
that will send you everywhere.
Yes. All of us.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So
for the Black History fact, there was a king, an African king, who went by the name of Lalibela. He was a king of the Zagwe dynasty. He became king in the early 1180s. That sounds really weird to say like that, but that's all right. And was king until early 13th century. He was a king mainly in Ethiopia. That's where the Zagwe dynasty was located. And during his reign, it was a Christian society. And during his reign, almost did it. I almost did it.
You almost forgot.
That's Lalibela right there. That's a picture of obviously, it's a drawing of Lalibela right there. During his reign, he ordered or commissioned the building of 11 churches, rock-hewn churches, which means that they were carved out of most of them out of like mountains. Like they hammer and chisel and just carve churches out of the mountainside. Couple examples here. This is the House of the Savior of the Lord. This one here is the House of the Cross, and then we've got House of Mary.
So Lalibela was Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the society was mainly Christian.
Gotcha.
And the reason that he commissioned the building of these churches was they were built in a way to resemble Jerusalem, and because of what was going on at the time, it was almost impossible for people to make the pilgrimage to Jerusalem. So they built their own churches. They're still standing today. Very impressive, right? And I kind of bring that up because there's there's always been a stigma in school and just in general that anything that's not Western culture is kind of primitive and savage in some cases, they say, and just not as good, essentially, right? So I wanted to kind of point out what was built by these African cultures of the time, and kind of wanted to juxtapose that against what was going on in Europe at the time, which in 1184, today actually, in 1184, I don't know why y'all are laughing. You're messing me up.
I'm sorry.
1184, we had what was called the Erfurt latrine disaster. Now, what this was, there was a land dispute going on amongst a few noblemen in Europe, and it got to the point where a king at the time, King Henry VI, he had to call a meeting. He invited all the noblemen from across Europe. It went on to be the Holy Roman Emperor. Maybe I believe it was like 7 years or so after this date. And so he called a meeting. They met at the Church of St. Peter, I believe it was, and they had their table sat down and up on the second floor of the church, and they're there to hash it out, right, and hash out this land dispute. Church is made of wood, and
not stone, like
yes,
correct, like the African king.
Not stone that lasts.
He said he tried to tell them, look, that wood. Get the stone.
It's not the best.
And they said, what you know, darky?
This church was made of wood, and the combined weight of all the noblemen couldn't support it. Right, they fell through the floor. They fell through that second story floor, and then they fall down. And obviously, there's the table, there's all the people, there's everything they had with them. Hits that first floor, boom, keeps going because gravity, and they fall through the first floor down.
What's below the first floor? What's below the first floor?
What's underneath there?
Not the basement.
Down into the latrine. And what's
a latrine for those of you who don't know?
They're gonna get it in a second. They fall down into the latrine, and this isn't funny. 60 people died.
Okay.
60 people.
This is serious.
Yeah, what a way to die.
And
how did
quite
they die?
a few of them died by drowning in liquid excrement. Others who did not drown suffocated from the fumes. And if you're wondering if maybe I had an agenda with this particular fact, I did hear about this today, and so I went and found a fact that would kind of correspond to this, because I just wanted to mention that 60 people fell through 2 stories into the shit, and they did not make it out. And
some of them died from deadly farts. Go figure.
So, shout out to King Lalibela, whose churches are still standing, unlike the Church of St. Peter, who has quite a body count on them.
Think about it. If you're a peasant for one of these noble lords and kings, whatever. And speaking of king, did the king die? B?
No. The king didn't die. Because the king, he was sitting on stone. He wasn't sitting on that wood floor like all the rest of them.
They all sit there laughing at Lalibela. Can you believe this guy trying to tell us to use stone? He's like, yeah. Just keep chiseling that stone right there. That's my seat right there. Okay. Can you imagine if you're a peasant around this time and all this happens? You're thinking, man, I got nothing going for me. I'm just a poor peasant. I got nothing. But at least I ain't drowning some shit. Somebody else's. Oh, That has to be the absolute worst way to die. Death by flatulence is crazy. Yes.
Liquid shit. They drowned.
Drowned. I'm sorry, Marco. He's eating dinner right now.
I hope it's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they didn't have certain people to do the manual labor to do the stone, so they went with the easiest route, and that's where they ended up.
Yes,
There
it
you
did.
go. There you go. Cut your corners. Coach, what's going on?
What's up, Coach?
How you doing, Coach?
Boy, I'm telling you. That
I
we just don't
wanna
know
go out
that.
No.
That's the absolute worst way. The absolute look, when people, you know what I'm saying, it can always get worse. This is a testament to that.
This is worse.
Okay. Oh, NDT Sports. I hope you did not miss this Black History fact. If you did, go ahead and rewind real quick. Or don't. Wait, you're not eating, are you? Thanks for coming through, NDT Sports. Coach,
That's good, man.
I'm glad you're here, man.
Good.
Very happy with your list. Even before we even got to the top 10, you know, I'm a big fan of this power rankings that you're doing. Right.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Love it. Very happy with the results today. I'll say that. All right. But before we get into that, because I want to spend some time going over this list and everything, I have something very serious that we have to discuss as Ravens fans. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Don't put it yet. Well, I was gonna say don't put it up yet, but that's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Yes. The Ravens snitched on some very good friends of ours. Okay. Rashad and Dave from Panthers Nation podcast. Okay. Yes. So last year, Rashad, I mean, he usually goes to the training camps. And last year he filmed it. I think he did the year before. So no issues, right? Panthers know exactly who Rashad and Dave are. They talked to a lot of the players. I think they even talked to one of the coaches before. So you know, they're a popular YouTube channel. Go subscribe to them. Very dope content. And that week when the Ravens were practicing with the Panthers, they were out there filming. In fact, a lot of Ravens fans went over to the channel to watch it because he was filming. He was live streaming it, and we got to see, you know, just up close the practices and how everybody was doing and everything. He was commentating and everything. It was great. Fast forward to this year. Okay. My man Rashad is out there and he is being followed. He is being harassed. Okay. Let's see what we put up here on this tweet. Did you take down my tweet?
I did not.
Okay, no, I have it here. Okay. First, this picture right here pops up. All right. That's Rashad right there. Rashad says, "This man is our personal security. He's assigned to us to ensure we don't record. He's watching no one else but me and Dave. They hate PNP, fam." Now, Rashad did say the guy was pretty nice. No, he was just kind of joking around. And the guy politely kind of let him know. He said there was another security guy that was kind of a jerk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were just watching them. Okay. So Rashad tweets out, "Hey, PAP will no longer record at training camp practices for the Panthers personnel watching this feed. Thank you for your respectful tone today. Please inform your security that if I'm on my phone, I'm likely tweeting, not recording. I do not want to be harassed at every practice." Right? So we're like, "Dang, man, why are they getting on you so hard?" Right? Like, why all of a sudden they don't want you recording? So they put out a video and they explained it, and we clipped it. This is about a minute long, and you just hear it from their mouths. Okay.
We out here, yo.
We're not the example. Please don't do what we do, because
I will. You know what? There's one thing we could say about it. The irony of what happened today was that it wasn't the Panthers that made a issue with it. It was another team during a joint practice that did.
very true. That's something we did discover today. It was not the Panthers that called us out. It wasn't the Panthers. No. It was another team. Do we want to say the team? Turn up, Dave. It was the Ravens.
It was the Ravens.
The Ravens snitched on us, B.
It was the Ravens, man. The flock. The irony of the flock. But I'm not
The
shocked
Ravens
considering how tight of
snitched
shit,
on us, dog.
how tight of shit that coaching staff ran compared to what we had for last year for coaching staff. So So I'm not shocked. And
Ravens snitched on us, man.
So
We on their radar too, man. Shout to Lunch Break Hot Take, man. They on
the irony of it being the Ravens too.
Go
By
get
the
your
way,
peoples, man. Go get your peoples.
the irony of it being the Ravens with Let's Break Hot Take, but they cover both the Ravens and the Panthers. So
I thought it was a no snitching rule in Baltimore, man. What y'all doing?
Nah, not with Harbaugh, bro.
Listen, man, I am disgusted. First of all,
wait. No. Why B go off camera when they was attacking us? That's what I want to know. Why he go off camera whenever he knew what was coming and he politely closed his camera.
I'm over there with Rashad and Dave. I don't know what y'all doing.
First of all, did you notice at the end, the last person talking, that's Dave, the one that was on the right, that's Dave. Did you notice how he correctly identified the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want for those of you in the chat, you know, if you're a Panthers fan, you know who Rashad and Dave are. Okay, they are the number one Panthers YouTube, I would say, in podcast out there. Okay, but if you don't know who they are, okay, they are Panthers fans. They're not Ravens fans. Okay, they don't know the day-to-day stuff. They don't follow this team that closely.
Right.
But Dave knew is if somebody doing some snitching, it is John Harbaugh. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been telling you for a while that John Harbaugh is a problem. Okay. And don't think just because I'm in a good mood and a better mood about this team and I feel good about the season and, you know, I like where they're ranked in coaches' power rankings because it's the only power rankings that I trust. Okay. Don't think that Harbaugh is not in my crosshairs. He still is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want that man out of here. He is a problem. Okay. And I don't know if you guys remember, I told this story a couple of times. I told it to you too, Coach. I also went out to Ravens practice last year. Myself, the other Coach Jay, and our guy E that films a lot of our stuff behind the scenes, right? And we were in the bleachers watching practice, and the Ravens are strict about no filming. Right, they let you film in between plays and everything. Like they have a horn that'll let you know when it's okay to record. But we're sitting in the bleachers all the way at the top, and the only thing we're doing is just, you know, they give us a program, and the program it has a list of the depth chart, so you know who's out there. And after certain plays, Jay would be like, "Hey, who's number so and so?" And I pull out the program. I be like, "Oh, that's so-and-so, that's Falele, or that's whoever," right? And we're doing that. And this guy who was sitting in the lower bleachers walks up and sits next to E. He's sitting on the end. And he's just talking to him. And he's asking about me and Jay. And he's just like, "Hey, are they scouts? Are you guys scouts?" And he's like, "No," right? And he saw E earlier because E knows some of the people that like the cameramen that were there that are allowed to film. He knew a couple of them because that's what E does. He films. He works for a college around here. He films the sports department, so he knows a lot of people. So he's asking him about what he does. He's like, "Yeah, I work for this college." And he's like, "Well, what about them?" He's like, "Well, Jose, he hosts a podcast or whatever, right?" And he's asking about the name of the podcast. So E gets my attention, just like, "Hey, he's asking about your podcast." And I'm kind of looking at him. He's just, I'm like, all right. And I give him a card. I have these cards or whatever. And he's like, "Okay, what you talk about?" I'm like, we talk Ravens and Panthers. And as soon as I said Panthers, he's like, "Why Panthers?" Right. And I'm like, because I'm a Ravens fan. My brother's a Panthers fan. I was like, just check it out. We talk USC, basketball, all that stuff, whatever. And he kind of examined it, whatever. And he took the card and then he's like, "Okay." And then he left. Right. But I think this is all related, is what I'm trying to say. This is all related.
Hearing that story again, and as I process it, you know what? I think that cat was just nosy.
Yeah.
I think that's all that was. He just nosy.
So, like, we weren't the only ones. Like, I mean, it's natural. You're watching practice. You see somebody make a catch. You're like, "Who's that?" Mm-hmm. Right? But they gave us the programs coming in. Right? Okay. Number 28. Who's 28? Okay, let me look. That's all I was doing. That's all I was doing. But I guess I was doing a little too much. And it makes sense. I know I know that we're not the only team that does it, but they all have security. Like Rashad found out their security. That's kind of watching to see that there aren't any plants out there, you know, checking out the practice and trying to steal plays and all that stuff. Right? These teams are uber paranoid. Uber paranoid. I'm almost certain that dude, because he was sitting there for a while. He was talking to another guy, and then like when he kind of heard us talking, he came up and started asking questions. And then when I gave him the card, he left. He didn't sit back down in the bleachers. He walked away. Yeah.
He went
That's
to report
different.
you.
Yeah.
He went to his computer, see if they
Yeah, King. This was last year. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not understanding what the paranoia is, because everybody has Greg Roman's plays. His playbook's been the same since 2011. So
if you play Madden, you know the plays.
It ain't even just great.
I got it.
All the teams run the same plays.
right.
But no. Everybody don't run Greg Roman plays.
No, they all have Greg Roman's plays. They may not run it, but I'm saying all of the 32 teams, like they all run the same plays, and you ain't showing nothing in an open practice.
Listen, who was it? One of the analysts on ESPN, I think it was last year. He was showing how basic Greg Roman's plays were. Like even when he flips plays, everybody flips plays, right? They see a play that they think works, they're going to run it again at some point, but they're going to disguise it a little bit. Not Greg.
Yeah, that was
He was like, no flipping, no nothing. He just runs the same thing. So of course the defense knows what it is because you didn't change anything. I mean, yeah, why are you being so secretive when you don't? You have the most basic playbook out there.
Let me tell you how Greg Roman throws a wrinkle in. One play he'll have Ricard going motion left, and in his mind the wrinkle is to put Oliver in and make him motion left and do what Ricard did. That's his wrinkle.
They'll never figure this one out.
Same formation, just a different dude.
Every defense that plays Greg Roman is that video. I know that ain't the play. I think
it is. He is not about to hand this ball off to Gus. No, he ain't. I know it. Again, yes, he is. I guess let me hit Gus in his mouth. Just 2 yard loss.
And apologize after the play.
My bad, Gus, man. I don't know why your coach keep doing you like this. Same play y'all. This is the same play y'all ran in the second quarter with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left last week versus the 49ers.
Facts.
We had the most difficult man to track down in all of the U2 game.
Oh, that almost gave me a heart attack.
What up?
What up?
Yeah, I couldn't miss out on all this fun, man. Y'all crazy.
Mikey.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and say this. Since 5 of us here, the other dude on vacation with his beautiful daughter. So shout out Chris.
I saw that video of them sitting in the cockpit. Like, where do you want to go? That girl said, I want to go home.
No, go ahead, Coach.
Oh, I was through.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, yes. Salute to Chris. What you're seeing right here is the Ravens roundup, minus Chris just joking. Okay, and I already announced before you came on, Coach.
I heard it.
Okay, yeah, Bus Boys and Poets is they're back on. All right, I feel like they did hear us say that we're not going with them, because immediately after that they emailed us like, hey, everything okay? You know, you good? Right. And we're like, no. But we talked for a little bit. They didn't avoid our calls this time, and we worked everything out. So everything's a go.
Hey,
Mikey,
a bird in a hand is always better than what you think might be in that bush.
Oh man,
facts. Mikey, what do you think about your boy Harbaugh snitching?
I ain't see it.
You ain't see it?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that's why you're hopping in.
I was watching all outside. I just jumped in because I seen all this fun, but I didn't see him snitch.
They snitched on Rashad and Dave from Panthers Nation podcast. So last year we had a joint practice with the Panthers.
Yeah. And
Rashad was filming it, and the Panthers knew about it. They know who Rashad and Dave are. They Rashad he live streamed the whole week, no issues. had his camera out and everything. People asking, hey, what's this for? Hey, Panthers Nation podcast, subscribe. No problems. They never had problems out there. This year, security rolled up on them talking about you can't record. And they found out that it was because of that joint practice. They said it. Yeah, I played the tape. They said, Panthers didn't have a problem with it. It was the Ravens that dimed them out.
Hey, look, he must don't know. We have a no snitching policy here. In
Rashad, he mentioned at the end,
Yeah.
but they correctly identified John Harbaugh. Don't he?
Wow.
He don't follow that policy.
You thought.
Wow.
Mike, I'm gonna tell you the most interesting part of the story. The whole time Rashad was just throwing his jabs our way. Somebody up here muted they camera, like was missing. I mean, like had camera issues the entire time Rashad and Dave was coming.
B was in solidarity with his Panthers brethren. Right? That's what that was.
That's right.
Man, B stood up on the podium like this.
Salute to Rashad and Dave, man. That sucks that happened to you, man. And I'm serious. Like, that's just another thing. Like, I just don't like Harbaugh. This is what it is. I don't like him. And to be that petty, you're it's not even on your practice field.
Mm-hmm.
The team got no issues with it, but you want to report them. You know what I'm saying? So now the Panthers have to act up because another team came in their house and reported them. Like, that's
now you got to have a guy that got to follow Rashad and Dave around.
They followed him.
You got to take him away from probably a duty post where he could watch a number of people. Where he got to sit here and watch these two or this one.
But that's a bad look from them anyway. Because if they had an issue, they should have been addressed it. They know how to get in contact with them. They could have easily DM'd them or something and said, hey, we saw you filming or whatever, can you not do that next time or whatever? You know what I'm saying? They could have been worked it out. They didn't have to wait for them to show up at camp and put on the show. That's BS.
Well, I'll say this to the brothers. That's not us, right? That's not how we get down, you know what I mean? So he functioned on his own with that. So don't hold all of us to that. But that is messed up, man. I'm sorry that had to happen, especially if they've been doing it for, however long they've been doing it. So
Dave correctly identified the problem, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, I mean, his name is known out there, in a Tekashi 6ix9ine type of way, right? Like they know. They know somebody's tattletelling. Look that way. Okay. Okay. All right. Now let's go back to a lighter note. All right, Coach.
Yeah.
For 31 days, you have been unveiling your power rankings. Okay. And yesterday was the 49ers at number 3.
Correct.
Which means there's 2 teams left, and you unveil both teams today. I'm not gonna tell the order, but you had Ravens and you had Eagles left. How did that work out? Who was number 2 and who was number 1?
Well, the number 2 team would have been number 1 had they kept one linebacker.
Wow, it was that close.
They got rid of 2 stud inside linebackers. One had like 150 tackles, the other had like 130. Had they kept either one of those and not had 2 brand new Mike linebackers or inside linebackers, they probably would have been number 1. And that was the Philadelphia Eagles. Their inside linebackers were ranked 31st.
Wow.
And we'll all see in a minute. That put them, I don't know how many decimal points that is that I got B, but that's a bunch of decimal points. That's how close it was.
Wow.
So I guess that makes this snitching ass franchise.
Oh man.
Hey, speaking of, I what's up, E? I just mentioned you, E. I was telling the story about last year when we went to the camp with Coach with Jay, right? And how that dude approached you asking about who we were and wanted to know why we covered the Ravens and the Panthers, right, on our podcast. Yeah, Eyelash Lens, he was there. He can corroborate my account of events. Okay. But yes, number one is snitching Harbaugh and the Ravens.
Ah! And you know, it's crazy how like when I recorded it last week, and I was just kind of projecting what would be said in the chat box as I was recording. And it's crazy how Reg Bayless was right on cue with what I was saying like a week and a half ago when I was it was crazy the timing. It was actually like it was actually live, and I was talking to him with the stuff he was putting in the chat box. It's crazy. But there it is. That's the whole list.
Look at that. All right. Let's go over it.
You might have to take the
oh yes. Can you take the ticker
banner
down?
down?
Yeah.
Oh, no, keep that up. Take the ticker down.
So you can see. So make sure so everybody can see who number 31 was. I want to make sure they see that.
There we go. There you go.
Yes.
That's the full list. And so if they have if it's highlighted, they were number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the position group. And all I did was I ranked the position groups, and then at the end I went and made the sheet, the last column. I did it from least to highest, and that's when I found out the Ravens were number 1. As I was doing this, it was in alphabetical order by team names, and I was ranking, you know, my best quarterback 1 through 32, best running back 1 through 32. Well, rooms, not individuals, rooms, and that's what I came up with.
This shows you how tight the competition is, right? Look how close the top 3 are. They're decimal points away from each other, right? You know, you got Bills at 9, they're less than a point. They're decimal points. Really, top 4 are just decimal points away from each other. And then you got 10, you know, you got 2 teams at 10, 1 team at 11, you got 3 teams at 12, right? You got a bunch of teams at 15. They're right there. They're right there. That's how close it is.
The whole list is between 8 and 24. It's 32 teams between 8 and 24. That's what, 16 points?
Yeah. So, and again, this type of transparency is what you don't get in any other power rankings, right? So you might look at a team, at your favorite team, and say, "Man, why are they ranked 18th? That's messed up." You know, they're better than that. No, they're good, and they could be good, or they could be competitive, right? But if we're looking at everything and breaking down positions and whatnot, you totaling everything up, yes, the competition is tight. That's how you get the parity that we get in the league. That's why sometimes you get teams that you're like, oh man, I didn't know they're that good. They are that good. The reason why they may not have been good the year before is, you know, a couple games didn't go their way. Like Coach, you mentioned Atlanta, right? After watching the quarterback series, they lost a lot of close games. I didn't realize they lost that many like close games. They could have easily been in the playoffs.
Yep.
You know,
games they should have won. Of like one of the games, Mariota just fumbled a snap where it was about to run out the clock.
Yeah.
Might have been like 2 games.
Might have been 2.
Yeah.
And I tell you, like, I even once and I didn't say this on most of the talent, but even when I realized that the Ravens were number 1, almost kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? I almost kind of took some integrity out of my list just to not make the Ravens number 1. Just to not hear, not to be
you want to come off like a homer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like I almost pulled Lamar, the quarterback room lower. I almost pulled I definitely almost changed the linebackers with that controversy with the Bears. I almost changed I was looking at each position, thinking about pulling them lower because I didn't want purple shade issue. But then I got to the point where I was like, screw it. I mean, the numbers are the numbers.
Yeah.
You know the interesting part too. If look at the Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers had some semblance of offense outside of the wide receiver room, they would be high. Because look at the defense.
Right.
Yes.
Look at the back end of the defense. They're in the top 10.
9-6. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Then you got random groups. Like look toward the bottom where you got those highlights. You got the Raiders way down there, but got the third best running back room if Jacob show up.
Right.
Yeah.
You got the Lions, even though the Lions probably be the team I'm wrong on, probably. But don't let me be right. Don't let me be right about the Lions, and they got the third best O line. Then you look at the Titans. I got the Titans with the best D line room, and they down there. So you got random, what I think, random positions that are better, but the team sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man, the Falcons got to do something about that 32-1 split.
Which is crazy. Like I got the Falcons behind some teams with rookie quarterbacks.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, Coach. You have to let the people know that you didn't include rookies in this ranking. So
right.
that
no,
you
like
know,
I told B, I only gave one rookie credit. And that was because he was so darn good with the ball.
Bijan Robinson.
It's got to be.
And when I looked at the Falcons, because I use ESPN.com's depth chart, because for some strange reason, the actual teams would not update their depth chart.
They don't.
And ESPN had Bijan as a starter. Well, in my thinking, I made Bijan the third string. I had Algiers as 1, Cordell 2, and Bijan at 3. When I looked at that, I'm like, man, who else got a room like that with, with this guy as the number 3?
Right.
Nobody.
Well, that's because nobody else would draft a running back in the top 10 if they had 2 good ones already. But
you need a quarterback.
Right. Not even Carolina. Yeah, and Carolina loves them some running backs.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so let's Coach, let's break down the Ravens since they are your number 1 team.
Gotcha. As far as I had obviously the linebacker crew, I had second behind the 49ers. And that was a big thing with the Bears. And what I talked about with the Bears is the Bears do have 2 good linebackers. They got Edmonds and Edwards. Edwards came from the Eagles. Edmonds came from the Bills. Now, both of those guys are good, but I think what Queen and Roquan have on them is time together. They have chemistry on them. Guys hadn't played a snap together yet. Queen and Rowe got about 8 to 10 games together. That's where the edge is for me. That's why I got them second over the Bears guys, because chemistry is people don't mention chemistry enough, but you need chemistry. I need to know how well this guy next to me gonna play. I need to trust this guy.
Yeah,
they just not start practicing together, Edwards and Edmonds. As far as the tight end room, I got us ranked the one in the tight end room, because is Mark the best tight end? No, but I think when you add Mark and his backups, I think we got the best room. Kelsey's by far the best tight end, but them guys behind Kelsey can't do nothing.
Y'all got 6. You're 6 deep at tight end. So
yes. We've earned that number 1 spot for sure.
Right. And then with Lamar, I mean, could he have been 2? Yeah. Could he have been 5? Yeah. I got him at 3. But then I factored in Snoop's a little better than some of these other people's backups.
Yeah.
Then when I thought about it, when I had the Eagles I really thought about, I had the Eagles at 5 for quarterbacks. I probably should have bumped them a little higher. I should have gave Mariota more for being a backup.
Yep.
Yeah.
I probably should have gave Mariota a little bit more credit for being a backup.
I still think Mariota's starting caliber.
It's not. It's the whole room. It's not just Hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when I did the Eagles, if Mariota would have been on that team last year, they probably would have lost him 2 games when Hurts didn't play, or they would have been more competitive. Because who was he played with the Colts now? He actually from Mississippi. Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Minshew went out there and laid the egg.
Yeah. Let me read this comment real quick. It's in line with what we're talking about. Salute to Marco G, man. Appreciate the 420 donation. Says it's a breath of fresh air knowing our wide receiver group is not dead last. Facts. I think wide receiver group as a whole is top 10 if we include Zay Flowers. Plus Aguilar and Duve are better 4th and 5th options than most other 4th and 5th options.
Yeah, I could have went high on wide receivers, but they coming off injuries. Yeah. So I couldn't put them in the top 10 because Odell's coming off what he's coming off. Liz Frank for Bateman. Like I said, not putting too much stock on rookies. So I couldn't bump them in the top 10. And middle of the road is really where we at.
After you finish eating, you can have it.
You ain't muted, Mike.
My bad. Daddy duty. My bad.
I definitely understand that. Definitely understand that. But then when you look at the Eagles though, if the Eagles had one good linebacker, they number one. Because the Eagles 5, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2.
That's crazy.
When you get to linebacker, 31. When you get to safety, 23.
Yeah.
And then they lose the number one spot by at least what, a 10th of a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was fun to do. It was tough, and you see where that D line, like, man, that D line, the edge group was giving me the blues. Especially with people having, like, some teams being 3-4 and some teams being 4-3.
Yeah.
It was the blue, like, because TJ Watt be labeled as an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at Myles Garrett as a defensive end, but they pretty much doing the same thing. So I just had to put them together.
You know, listen, like what the Ravens did again, for us to get this high, you have Lamar to thank, not just for him being the quarterback, but forcing this team to get better on offense, because we don't want to see what this wide receiver group would have ranked last year. All right, if they said, "Hey, this is running back," you don't want to see what that rank would have been like. But they had to get very aggressive. And no, Zay Flowers doesn't factor into this. And to Marco's point, it could be even higher if he's as good as they're hyping him up to be right now. Right, but they had to have a different mindset to make this happen. So, salute to Lamar for getting them to start thinking along those lines.
Right, we actually got, like, when was the last time any Baltimore Raven had a contract with void years on it?
Never.
Right.
And I know Odell got that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Lamar might have it too on the back end on it. I know Odell got it.
I don't think Lamar did.
Not
Well,
sure.
okay, but it's probably just Odell. But still, that's what the Saints been doing for forever.
Yep, and it hasn't caught up. You know why? Because when you kick the can down the road never comes. When is it going to get to the point where the NFL says, "Guys, we're going to need you guys. We're going to need your teams to settle up on
right,
settle up on this, right? Like, they're going to keep pushing that down the road. They don't ever have to account for that, because look, the cap is not there to keep owners in check, right? The owners run the league.
Yeah.
The cap is there to keep players' salaries in check.
Yep.
So when they don't want to pay a group like the running backs or even the quarterbacks, like, these quarterbacks should be getting paid a whole lot more, but they decided just to lock in and say, "This is all we can give you." They can use the cap as an excuse. But when they want to go in and make something happen, they can manipulate the cap however they want to make it happen. If they decided, man, we just need more money to pay players, because look, we're seeing players go over to Saudi Arabia now because they're starting a football league or whatever, they can get on a Zoom call, and in 5 minutes, cap is gone. And it can happen just like that. Just how we got 17 games. That happened over a Zoom call. A 5-minute meeting, and guess what? We got an extra game. That's how quick it can happen. So no, the cap is not real. The cap is not something that's going to hold your team back. If the owner of your team wants to get good, they will get good. It's that simple. Salute to Anonymous for the donation. Says, great list, wide receiver and Eagle being edge. I'm sorry, wide receiver and edge being middle of pack could be a difference of Ravens winning the playoffs. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Question I've been asking you guys on my show, but now you got the whole list. Your surprise of the list.
You know, I think for me, I'm a little surprised to see the wide receivers for the Steelers so low. I think that room's better than Baltimore's. I think they're one of the better rooms in the league with Pickens and Deontay Johnson, and now even though Allen Robinson's, he's been hurt, and they're getting Calvin Austin back. So I'm surprised to see them down at 19.
I gave Allen the Cliff treatment.
Yeah, I mean,
I get. Now I was thinking back. I was trying to remember what I said about that room, and I remember talking about him falling off the cliff. So I really, in my mind, they got two receivers, Pickens and the quick dude. Yeah, him.
Deontay Johnson.
Now you know the look. I said on your show, the Saints kind of surprised me, right? And I get it because they had the talent. The coach is awful. The Browns, they do and they don't, right? Because on paper, they look really good.
They do. They do. For the past 3 or 4 years, they look really good on paper.
That's the thing. They look really good and they don't. They just don't win.
Yeah.
Right. And I like their coach. I think the coach is fine. They just don't win. But this is a I think a must win year for them. I think they have to show that the moves that they've made are panning out. So I think there's going to be a higher sense of urgency for that team to be good.
And it's going to be tough on them.
It is.
And in the division.
Yeah.
Because the division is tough.
But you know, if Deshaun Watson can, you know, be the quarterback he used to be, and I don't think he's washed by any means. They got the right quarterback to lift them up. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, teams who seem to have prioritized the running back position did not fare well on this list. If you look at, you know, starting from 17 down, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 10 running backs in the league are in the bottom half of the league there, and the Falcons coming in at 15. It's not great.
What kind of league is it?
Passing
league.
Absolutely.
Hey, but then it's crazy. I just scanned over this. Look at the correlation to pretty much like the tight end rooms. Look where they at.
Yeah.
They're the top for the most part.
Yeah.
And you think the O-line would be all at the top too.
You know what? Just looking at this, it makes me realize tight ends are really the key for passing in today's NFL. Like when you get those, you get those quarterbacks that aren't really that good, but you know they still have some decent stats. It's because of tight ends, right? Easy passes, big targets, right? They run the more recognizable routes.
Yeah.
You know,
and don't let you have one that can get some yak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the other interesting and dope thing about this list, Coach, because you pointed it out, right? You can almost look at this list, see what positions may be one of the most important positions on the field. You know what I mean? You got your tight ends. You look on this list, by your list, the tight ends are all at the top, right? Then it's looking like quarterbacks is next, where they're all towards the top. Then you go over the edge, D-line and edge, right? Those are all positions that you really do need to solidify, right? To be a contender. So that's another dope thing about how this.
I think about that. You sure right.
Yeah, and you look at it again with quarterbacks, right? There's one top 10 quarterback in the bottom half of this list, and that's Trevor Lawrence. Everybody else is right up there at the top.
Yeah. Well, all right. Coach, we appreciate this, man.
No problem. I enjoy doing it.
What is it, Ben?
What is it?
Huh? Oh no, you know, I was just, you know, I'm looking up, I'm going through the list and seeing, and I'm about to, and seeing the priorities list. And you know, a lot of these top teams, I don't see them being too high on safety.
Well, hold on. Well, the Bills are number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple sprinkled in there.
You mean 14 seconds is number 1?
Yeah, you know. yeah.
You got.
You had to find a way to get that man, to get on that man case, didn't it?
I ain't even talking about that, man. I'm just saying we talking about important positions, and it seems like one of the least important is a safety.
Nah, that's not true.
Man, pretty sure
23, 12,
I mean,
18, 30,
they all in
going to this list. It ain't.
They all in the top 12.
No.
You got the Bucks down there. You got the Patriots down there near the bottom.
For safety,
the most spread out position is probably O-line.
Yeah.
I think O-line is probably the most spread out.
if you look at safety, well, I'm talking about the top 12 as far as the teams ranking where they fell, but the groups that fell in the top 5 in safety, they're all in the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I see a 23, I see a 30, a 21, a 20.
12 and 18.
Well, you calling the Bengals on 30, but look how power their offense is. That's why. Yeah,
Okay.
because the correlation of the team, and they lost one of the better safeties in the league, to Atlanta.
They did.
So
it's because it wasn't important.
Well,
Actually, linebacker.
We'll find out.
We
will find out this year. We'll find out.
Because now looking at it, linebacker.
There'll be a different. What's called? There'll be a different team on the back end.
Yeah.
It was fun, man. It was fun.
I would say O-line.
Yeah.
But yeah,
O-line or linebacker, because I mean, yes, you have a top 3 O-line unit with the Lions at the bottom, but linebacker, you got a couple top 10 groups, Bucks and Colts that towards the bottom.
Man, I'm telling you, the Bucks are a few shakes to the left or right in some of these positions, and they'd have been higher on this list, man. Look at that, man.
They just don't have none on the offense, Mike, other than receivers.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, quarterback room is terrible. Running back, like, yeah, that's what's hurting them.
They lost 2 or 3 of their O linemen from when they were good.
Yeah.
Tom retired. Fournette's gone. The backup to Fournette's gone. But defensively, they there. Defensively.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Coach. You got to go. You want to hang out?
Yeah, I gotta get food. I gotta do food. You know, I hang around for the overtime.
Okay, let people know real quick where they can plug both channels, where they can find this list and your main channel.
You can find me at Sip the Tally Films. That's the main Baltimore Ravens channel. A lot of content over there. Today I was, Hendo graced the channel, him and Nitro. And they it wasn't a debate, but we kind of talked about the differences in Justin Herbert getting paid and Lamar getting paid and the noise surrounding the 2 contracts. Like with all this noise with when Lamar got paid and he didn't deserve it and he ain't did nothing in the playoffs. But then you come back and Justin Herbert get a contract and you had to go find the information.
Right.
You got to hear people about it. And then what most of the talent was we just finished talking about, that channel is for the streets. And streets being the other 31 teams. And so I'll start to pull out content about the other teams starting tomorrow. Just pick and choose different stuff, different position matchups that I want to, position battles, that I want to see who win out of their training camps from different teams and whatnot. But I really want to say thank you to everybody that, rocked with me for a whole month straight. So this is the first time that I've had consistency of this magnitude. It's 31 straight days. So everybody that, whenever you jumped in, I appreciate it. Like the video. If you want to go back now that you've seen the list and see what I said about different teams, please go back and do so. Now you got a list to compare with. You may have to have a screenshot, then go with your computer. But I appreciate it, man. We're getting into the film, and obviously you can, if you didn't know, that's what this is. It's Filmed and More Film, FTMF, new merch that's about to come out.
That's dope.
Hey, make sure you get you some when I present it. And if you come into the meetup,
we'll talk.
let me say this too before Coach gets out of here. Coach, that's a lot of work you put in, man.
A lot.
So salute to you, bro. Like, the consistency, like you said, man, the effort, the dedication to get this in. We remember when you first said it. At first you was like, man, I might skip a week or 2 or a day or 2 or something like that. But you pretty much went all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, salute to you, everybody in the chat, man. Wherever y'all at, if y'all sitting down, stand up and give Coach a round of applause, because you're not gonna get that type of work on these other
facts.
These other lists, man. We said that on the roundup, man. They just picking who they favor, the trending team right now.
Right.
Coach broke down the positions, man.
What I will say, the funniest thing, if you don't go watch any episodes, if you feel like you ain't got time to do it, go back and watch that Chiefs episode. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the story. With my Adobe stuff, is me and my wife use it, and it's synced up. So when she does something on her computer, it chimes on my computer.
Oh, is that what we were hearing?
So when
yeah,
I did hear that. I could have taken my phone. I was like, wait, what's going on?
So
What
when she was doing her little work, it would
man.
It'll
sync
chime
on
on yours.
mine. and I couldn't figure out what it was at first.
Coach is heated.
Like, what? Because everything else was like, you know how you minimize stuff, and so I heard it, but I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And then I was like, what? And then so I realized what it was, and I went up there, and she's like, "Oh, I'm done." And then when I came back, I guess it had to catch up with what she had done. It did happen a couple more times. I forget it. And so then it happened on the Eagles one today, but I knew exactly what it was, and I knew how to stop it. So if you don't go back and watch none of them, but I hope you do. Go watch that Chiefs one, man. That was fun.
It was hilarious, and it just got to a point it started going off, and every time it
kind of happened like that.
Coaches look at the camera like.
But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, and I appreciate everything that y'all do. And hey, our anniversary is the 5th, man.
Yes, sir.
The roundup is anniversary is August 5th, and we celebrating August 4th. And if you haven't gotten a ticket yet, go get it.
Go get it.
Exclamation point tickets.
There you go. All right, Coach. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the overtime show, man.
Hey, definitely. I want to hear about Cocaine Shark, even though I think I know. I think I heard. But I need some, like Booby Miles' uncle said, we need some double confirmation. All right, fella.
All right, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. All right. Yes, man. I love that segment, man. I love breaking down the team. So look, the Ravens are number 1. Okay. And Coach broke it down why. So, don't get upset when you see, some of these other accounts put out their power rankings and they got the Ravens ranked 10th or some nonsense like that. Try to get a rise out of you, right? You can refer them to Morris at the tally and just go right to the number 1 team and explain to them why they're wrong. Coach will explain for you. Okay. So you don't have to argue with anybody about it. All right. And speaking of lists, Hendo, you got a list going on right now.
Yes, sir. It's the top 100 players entering the 2023 NFL season.
There you go. So you go over to the Road Pod. All right. You don't have to go to any other list about, why Lamar is the 25th best player or some garbage like that. You just go watch the Road Pod. He will get you straight.
They had him at 72.
Yeah. See, I mean, yeah.
So you already know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is.
Yeah. Look, if you want to go to the NFL Network for any list, you just need to watch the episode of the biggest draft bust in history and go to number 4 on that list. Rick Meyer. It is in the community tab, okay, for your convenience. Rick Meyer, and they explain Rick. If you don't know who Rick Meyer is, that's fine. Okay. He played in the 80s. Early 90s, I believe. He was a quarterback, got drafted from Notre Dame, got drafted by the Seahawks. And if you look on paper, his first couple years weren't too shabby. But he had a dirty secret, a shameful secret. Okay. And the secret was he couldn't throw left. Like Zoolander, like the movie Zoolander.
Right.
Like he could not throw left. And look, click on it. It's in the community tab. Give it a little thumbs up. All right. He couldn't throw left, and he couldn't get down the playbook. And they said it on that segment. There were some games they go into with only 5 or 6 plays because that's all he could remember. Right. But we talk about certain quarterbacks not being cerebral. But you never heard a story of Rick Meyer.
You see, Coach. You You sparked a new list.
It's a new list alert. There you go. We're gonna have to discuss that. All right. So you guys good to hang out, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into submitted questions, but before we do that, Stream Elements bot right on time. That is the link for the Roundup meet and greet tickets. Okay. Go ahead. It's $50. Trust me, it is well worth it. There's no other place you can go and spend $50 and have a full night's entertainment. Not nowadays. All right. So that's covering your food, your drinks. The only thing it doesn't cover is alcoholic drinks, but that'll be available via Cash Bar. All right. We're giving away prizes, or go holler at Mikey. Okay, he got something in the trunk for you. All right. We're giving away prizes. We're sending people home with goodie bags, and I should stop calling it a goodie bag. It's a swag bag.
It is.
You getting some nice stuff. All right.
A lot of swag.
Yes. So go get your tickets today. It's happening next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. All right. We're going to have a lot of fun there. Also, look, Hendo got some new merch. Okay. That's the design that you see behind him. If you're wondering what is that, that is on his site. Go to theroguepod.com. All right. And they can get there from that site, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay. Yeah. So go to theroguepod.com and look around the site. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Okay. So go there, check it out. Get some merch if you like his merch. Mikey, you got some merch too, right? Is it on Spreadshop? Teespring
right now. Yeah.
Teespring. It's on Teespring.
Or my trunk, either one.
Yeah. Just holler at Mikey and he'll hook you up. Okay. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, that's available on our website, LBHTShow.com. I'll give you a better picture of it. That's what I'm wearing right there. Okay.
Fire.
Yes. So go over there. LBHTShow.com is where you can find the merch. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. If you want to hear about cocaine sharks, and I know you do, Patreon.com/LBHTShow. We're going to be talking about that in the overtime show. If you have $5, you have access. Simple as that. All right, B. Submitted questions. What we got?
We got a few questions here. So thank you, as always, to those of you who submitted the questions. I already went ahead and updated the loyalty points. Jay, I know you submitted 2 questions, but you got picked for one, and I didn't know the answer to the other one, so I left that one down. Submitted question number 1 from our guy Buck, Arizona Armchair Sports.
Salute, Buck.
What makes this season a success for the Carolina Panthers? I mean, that's an easy one. Winning that division. I mean, that's all obviously a successful season. The real answer to that is Bryce Young showing that he was the correct pick. That's what makes it a success, regardless of the record.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. Bryce Young playing well. Because even if somehow, I mean, I don't think if he plays well, you're going to lose many games. But if even somehow he plays well, but injuries happen, you just you don't win that many games. It's still a successful year because you got your quarterback, and okay, he worked out. We got to fix whatever else, but we know once we fix those, we're going to be winning. So that is the answer right there. Bryce Young having a successful year, and the bonus is winning the division or just having a winning record, right? Because the Panthers managed to win a division without winning records some years.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I can't do it.
No, we can't.
So we can't do it. But yeah, I agree. Bryce Young being named the starter today officially, I think just his progression is what's going to be a successful season for them, because they could easily take the NFC South. And just like with the list that Coach just provided, showing that the tight end is a very important group, I think the connection that Bryce Young has with Hayden Hurst in developing that chemistry is going to go far into his development.
Okay.
Why you don't like Hayden Hurst? I don't understand.
I like
Hayden Hurst.
I don't have anything against them going out and targeting a 30-year-old bust at tight end.
Let me ask you something, though. I know the answer, but because look, we say things for fun on here. But if Hayden Hurst actually what if he has a breakout year? You cool with keeping him, right?
I mean, but what's a breakout year, right? Because he had like 600 yards with the Bengals, and that wasn't because Hayden Hurst is that guy. It's because they have 3,000-yard receivers, and nobody pays attention to Hayden Hurst.
Right. And when I say cool with keep out, I'm not saying like you all of a sudden think he's like a top 10 tight end like that, but like you look at him and say, he's cool. Like if he gets 1,000 yards this year,
he gets 1,000 yards. But I don't care about him being on the team. That's not my issue. Right. My issue is you targeted him to be the starter on the team, and you know that that's not what he is. And you also drafted a dude who sort of played tight end, sort of played linebacker, sort of played edge, but is best known for sucker punching somebody in the face after a game. And you drafted him in the 3rd round when there were tight ends available.
Allegedly, that was deserved.
I mean, I didn't say it was undeserved. I said it was a sucker punch.
Okay, all right.
And that he's best known for it.
Every team needs a little bit of that.
Right.
Do they?
That's yes. Last time we had one of those, we won a Super Bowl.
Every team needs a sucker.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But no, I think, you know what, to answer Buck's question, I think proving that they have the right weapons around the young man, I think that he's going to be fine, right? I think he's just that type of talent. I think he'll show that early on. We'll see a taste of that in the preseason. We'll see that he got it. I think proving that the wide receiver group, I know that you have some questions there with Terrace Marshall and, losing DJ Moore and seeing if they have the replacement on the team. I think that will show the success in this team. They show that they got the right weapons around him. That'll take them where they need to go. Because I think he's the talent that'll be fine. It's just about what's built around them that will catapult this team into where they're gonna go.
Y'all playing all the hits today, huh?
No,
that wasn't no shot. That was real.
You know
like you still ain't got James Prochet on the roster, but whatever.
You know what?
Bring back Makai. I'm sorry.
Speaking of wide receiver, you know what would be. Look, outside of Bryce Young just being the man and you guys winning a bunch of games, right? What outside of that, the most successful you could be is Bryce Young plays really well, but you still lose a lot of games, and you end up in a position. Listen, you end up in a position. Oh, you don't have a pick. Oh, never mind. Don't listen to me then. Don't listen.
I had considered that, and then I was like, oh wait, they traded it because of everything.
So they don't have a first or second next year?
I believe they still have their second. But they don't have their first. And to y'all's point about the team and building around Bryce Young, it's infuriating because it was already built. They had DJ Moore, they had Christian McCaffrey, and they said no, we need to start over with Terrace Marshall and DJ Chark.
Now, I like Brian. I like Brian Burns, but they should try to trade Brian Burns over DJ Moore.
Well, they had the chance to trade Brian Burns, and I'm certain they could have gotten that deal done without losing DJ Moore had they had the extra picks. But they didn't trade Brian Burns, so they didn't get those picks. They traded a bunch of other picks to get Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and whatnot before they admitted they just needed to draft a quarterback. It's been a comedy of errors up to this point, but it's all right.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. Well, but you look, and we said it during draft time. I salute the Panthers. Being aggressive and going up and getting who they wanted. It's something that we're not used to here in Baltimore. It's something that we all wanted during the last 18 drafts. Look, man, you see somebody there, go get them. And so they sacrificed a little bit. They paid a heavy price to go get who could be their franchise guy, man. And if you got a franchise quarterback, then that's half the battle. That's a majority of the battle, right? And then, with him being on a rookie contract, I can see them taking advantage of what we didn't do when we had Lamar under control, cheap or whatever. I can see the Panthers being a team that, okay, you know what? This year the wide receivers didn't work, so we're gonna go out and spend some money on one. So I think I see what you're saying, but I'm not against them making a move to go get who they feel is their guy.
Facts.
I think they overpaid out of desperation because all of their previous moves didn't work, right? Because if you remember the draft, it was Chicago and Houston 1 and 2, right? And Chicago's not taking the quarterback, obviously. And Houston They tried to get Houston to trade up to 1. They didn't want to do it because they wanted CJ Stroud. So the question is, did you even need to get to 1?
I don't think it's desperation, right? I think if you see a quarterback, you think he's the guy, right? You don't want to take any chances on it, right? Like the Chiefs weren't in position to draft Pat Mahomes. They're like, do what you got to do. I mean, playoff team, right? They could have easily said, look, we're a good team. You know, we're in the playoffs without Smith. We don't want to trade up that high to go and get this guy, right? And nobody was talking about Pat Mahomes like that in the draft, right? People could have made an argument that at the time that they kind of reached, you know, to get Mahomes, but they didn't care. They're like, we know he's the guy. We're giving up what we got to give up to go and get him. And nobody remembers that they traded up to get him. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, and it's true. And I'm not mad that they moved up to 1 and they got their guy. I think that their GM is terrible at negotiating trades because you know they keep saying, "Oh man, you know Chicago said DJ Moore no deal." No, it wasn't. They weren't going to sit there and take somebody at 1, need a quarterback, and they could move out and still get the guys they wanted. Right? Yeah. You gave up premium picks. And then you gave him a number 1 receiver in his prime as well. You didn't have to do that. You did that because you're the guy that traded a 2nd-round pick for Sam Darnold. That's why you did that. You're the guy that traded a 3rd-round pick for C.J. Henderson. That's why you did that. You're the guy who turned down 2 firsts and a 2nd for Brian Burns. So, you know.
But I mean, staying pat could have worked, like you said, but you don't know what the other teams was back there trying to leapfrog to get him. Well, nothing would have irked you more if they'd have stayed pat and Stroud went where he went, a team leapfrog, you know, and got Bryce
Young, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then y'all end up with Will Levis. You'd have been pissed.
They had to end up with Will Levis. and I'm not, like I said, I'm not even saying don't trade up. I'm saying you gave up too much to do it.
No, I feel you.
Listen. That guy is poor at negotiating trades.
I think so. That's what it is right there. It's not that you think they gave up too much. It's that he's made all the wrong moves. Now, granted, it's in conjunction with what's his face over in Nebraska now.
Matt Rule,
right? It's in conjunction with him. But they made all the wrong moves, and none of this stuff was necessary. And B's absolutely right about that, right? They could have just had Justin Fields right now, right? they could have just had him on the team, and this pick. First of all, it probably wouldn't even be this high, but you know, this pick, you know, they can go get whatever. Like they would still have Justin Fields. You would still have DJ Moore. You probably still have Christian McCaffrey because you're not trying to blow the team up, right? You want to keep weapons for him. The team looks a lot different right now. And yeah, to B's point, like none of this was necessary if you would have just made the right move, right? Like yes, J.C. Horn, good young corner, but look at the corners that went this year, low. Joey Porter Jr. went in the 2nd round.
I'm gonna put this back up for a second. Because let me see. Carolina is down there at 28, and their corner room, if I read that correctly, is ranked 20th.
Yes.
So JC didn't move the needle as much as we may have been hoping. But that's okay. That's all right. Had Stephon Gilmore and let him walk, but that's okay.
Oh man.
Hey, what did y'all give us for Baker? A 2nd?
Hey, how about we don't worry about it? How about submitted question?
What's the next question?
Thank you, Jeremy Miller. Who is the best USA team of all time in any sport? Dream team, women's soccer, redeem team, etc. I'm going to definitely go with the dream team here. I mean, the opponents were asking for autographs before, during, and after the games.
Yeah, I'm with you. That dream team. I know some people try to say the redeem team. Nah. That dream team is the best team we've ever seen put together, top to bottom. And they could have, that team could have even been better, right? Did they really need Christian Laettner?
No,
you know what I mean?
Don't do it.
I mean, imagine. Now, listen. Don't get me wrong. Christian Laettner is one of the greatest college basketball players we've ever seen.
Second best on his team.
But imagine Shaq in that spot.
He did it.
You know, or I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know how to translate it for the
Webber.
Euro rules.
You're
I don't
right.
think I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe back there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You're right.
like
I mean, I imagine Isaiah Thomas on that team.
yeah.
They might have messed up the chemistry.
Oh, it would have, but
Nobody liked him.
But they'd have checked him.
They listen. Those I'll say this about those players back then. When they got on the court, it's all business. Like they could be mortal enemies, but when they get on that court, like they going like it's time to go to work. I'll give them that. So yes, Isaiah and Magic would have been throwing fists every day, but as soon as they get on the court, that you would think they're best friends.
Again.
Yeah. I am going to say Redeem Team just for variety's sake, because the Dream Team, yes, it has you have some of your greatest players to ever play the game on it, but the world was nowhere near ready to compete. Like they didn't have to play the guys that the Redeem Team had to play. They had to play the same type of team, right? Like you said, that when you have players asking for your autograph, they just showing up, right? The Redeem Team had to show up after the world caught up and said, "Nah, actually, we'll take that title back. We'll take that gold," right? And they had to get serious about it. So it's much stiffer competition that they had to overcome to win.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Dream Team. I'm gonna go with the team that had 11 future Hall of Famers on it. And the college players.
I had to do it for variety's sake. That's all.
I got you. And I like the Redeem Team. I like the Redeem Team because Dwayne Wade had to come in and save them, but they lost a lot of games before the Olympics actually started. They lost, and they almost lost a couple games in the Olympics. So, Dream Team has to be number one.
Yes, Jay. I know that you don't agree. The cornerback room is 20th, but the pass defense in Carolina was bad. So I mean, blame it on whoever you want. They weren't good.
Where do you rank them, Jay?
Right.
Yeah, you don't think, but okay, you don't think the 20. You don't think the top 10, do you?
They've got one decent corner.
Yeah,
one good corner. JC's a good corner.
He's a good corner. Yeah.
Outside of that, they had a really inconsistent corner who's coming back off an Achilles tear.
If you'd have kept Gilmore, that'd have changed everything.
They have a garbage corner who they tried to force into a redemption arc that's not taking. I mean, they're not good at corner.
All right.
So question number 3.
Okay, we got another one from Jay.
The Lakers just waived Cole Swider.
Who?
Cole Swider, exactly. Do I think Alex Fudge will succeed where Swider did not? Come on, Jay.
Wait.
Come on, Jay.
These are not
G-Leaguers?
created. They're not creative players, right?
Right.
And are they creative players? Because who would just name their player Fudge?
Listen, I didn't say they were bad names. That's kind of awesome. But I've never heard of these people.
No, they're like Cole Swider is he's a 3-point shooter who can't really do it in the game, but also can't do anything else. So he was never gonna pan out. And no, I don't expect anything from Alex Fudge either.
Is Fudge the center guy that they're saying is? Who's that guy that played on the summer league team? That was Colin Castleton. Now Colin Castleton has some skill.
Didn't you guys have like a 35-year-old G Leaguer or something?
They did a few years ago. I forget his name now, but
he got in the game.
NBA games. He started hitting some threes, and it was a nice little story. But he sucked too.
Damn.
I mean, no offense, man, but like it took you like 13 years to get out the G League, bro.
That's a great story, man.
It is a great story. It's a fantastic story. Amazing.
All right. Is that it for some questions?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. We are done with that segment. Thank you, everybody that submitted. You'll be getting some points for that. Be real quick. Tell them look, we got 40 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. Subscribe. We got people coming back to the channel, taking some time off because football was not happening, but now as it's ramping up, I see more names in here. Look at Chris White, he's back up in here. But Blunts and Otters is in here. I know Chris has been popping his head in. I know that. But we have a few people in here in the chat.
Yes, Andre Ingram. Thank you.
Andre Ingram. Okay, yeah. So if you haven't been here in a while, we kind of restructured the show a little bit. So we have a point system. Every month we're giving away prizes. Okay. Yes. The person that gets the most points gets a prize, and we do another giveaway. You have to, anybody that has 1,000 points is eligible for the giveaway. All right. Mm-hmm. So last month, Ferris won the grand prize, and Agent E won the giveaway.
And it just occurred to me that we should probably advertise what the prize is going to be. Mm-hmm. But I don't know for this month, so we'll start that next month.
I'm about to say to you, I don't
know. I wonder why.
What do you mean? I didn't know last month either. I let Ferris pick what he wanted last month.
Do I get to pick?
I don't know. Look, I'm still waiting on some volunteers to combine their points and bring Robot down, take him down a peg or
and
two.
You see in the chat, Mikey wants to know how many points he has. That's how you do it. Jeremy's doing the same thing. You do exclamation point points, and Streamlabs will let you know how many points you have. All right. So that's how you do it right there. If you're curious, and there are all kinds of ways you can get points just by chatting, right? We're not bringing up as many comments, but don't be discouraged, right? You leaving comments in there gives you points. You just watching the show gives you points. So the longer you're in the show, the more points you get.
You commenting on videos that we upload will give you points. You submitting questions for the submitted questions segment will give you points. If you want to just knock it out in one go and make sure you're in the drawing, you go to LBHTShow.com and sign up for the newsletter. That'll get you 1,000 points. Getting your ticket to the meetup will get you 6,000 points. And there's a trivia question coming up. That'll get the first 3 correct answers get points, 1,000, 750, and 500. Patreon, signing up to Patreon will get you points. Donating gets you points. Subscribing to the channel if you're not already. But if you're not already, what the hell is wrong with you? That'll get you points. Pretty much anything that you do to engage with the show and the channel will get you points.
All right. Okay, now what's next? We gotta start moving. Oh, we got an hour and a half. We gotta go into our 2-minute offense now. Okay.
Well, this one will be real quick. Jaylen Brown, why?
Oh, hold on. I gotta change the background here. Okay, gotta stay on point. Okay, Jaylen Brown. Well, I mean, that's a little harsh. First of all, I like Jaylen Brown.
I like Jaylen Brown too.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because he's the last man up for a max deal, and that's
he don't play quarterback.
That's what it dictates. Okay, he's the Jaylen Brown. For those who don't know, okay, guard for the Celtics.
Much like Rick Meyer, can't go left.
Thanks.
A little too hard. He's not that bad. Okay, that's a little.
He falls down when he tries to go left.
I think.
Did y'all see the?
I know you're gonna talk about that. That is very insensitive, by the way. That
is it is. I'm not even gonna bring it up.
What happened?
I'll tell y'all backstage.
Oh, come on, man. All right, let's wrap this up.
I don't want to get y'all flagged. It's not nice.
Very insensitive, and that guy is very good at basketball.
He is good.
I don't want to do the rest of the topics now. I want to know what you're talking about.
Right.
All right.
They tweeted out Jaylen Brown, got the deal, and they showed a highlight of another player that doesn't have a left arm.
Hamsel Emmanuel. No.
Yeah, Emmanuel. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the kid that plays.
He's nice though. He's nice.
That kid can play.
So what it said was Jaylen Brown gonna cook this year, and it was a video of him just going right.
That's so messed up.
I didn't
Oh,
listen.
man.
Don't get mad at us. We didn't put that in there. We didn't tweet that. Okay, we didn't tweet that. That's not us. All right. So Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics. He got a new deal. Agreed to a deal. What's the deal? It's a super max deal.
Yeah, I forget the number of years. I want to say it was 5 years.
5 years, 304
304 million, fully guaranteed, no player option. So he's the highest paid player in the NBA now.
History.
60 million a year.
No player option.
No player option.
What about trade? No trade clause.
I
don't know.
Okay. I don't know if he had a no trade clause. I would hope
Nah,
not.
he didn't. We won't see after this Bradley Beal thing. We won't see a no trade clause in the NBA for a while.
Now,
not for players like Bradley Beal and Jaylen Brown.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this comment up from Agent E. He says he doesn't deserve a super max. Do you guys agree with that?
Yep.
Agreed.
I don't agree.
I don't agree.
First time, Agent E. First time you're right in them comments, man. Keep it.
I don't
up.
agree. He's
right twice.
He's one of the top players in the league, and when you come up for contract, you're going to get a super max.
We're being pretty lax when we say one of. I don't think he's that guy, and listen, he didn't perform when they needed him to.
That's something different, right? Okay, he choked, but is he better than Trae Young? Mind you, he's one of the people we named.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can you can make a good argument for that until the 2023 playoffs.
We got further than Trae Young.
Yeah, because he plays on a better team than Trae Young, and he can hide behind Jason Tatum, and Trae Young can't do that. But Trae Young played much better than he did,
and he also set a record for turnovers in the playoffs.
So all of a sudden, you guys are Trae Young fans. Where was this? Where was this months ago when he needed support?
Let's not
it's
go
like
that
it's like when we're on Steel Conspiracy, I asked Shook, right, and Hendo. Jason Tatum set a record for points in Game 7 against Philadelphia, right? 54 points, I believe it was, and they won that series. They moved on. They're in the conference finals. They're down 3-0, and they win 3 straight. They come back, and it's like, man, Game 7 Tatum. They go into the finals. Jason gets hurt very, very early in that game, and he obviously he continued to play, but he was clearly not the same player, and just couldn't be very effective. Where was Jaylen Brown? Because Derek White was doing his thing.
Man,
where was Jaylen Brown?
They were calling it.
Huh?
Where was Jaylen?
But you gotta look. Okay, the man averaged 27 points a game, right? 7-8 rebounds a game. He is was he 2-time All-Star? He was All-Pro this year, right? Or what they call All NBA.
All NBA.
Second team, I think. He played well in the playoffs up until
first team on that salary list, though, ain't he?
Oh, he first. He first in the league on that list.
He ain't got that second team salary, does he?
Nah, he the man right now. But I think it was just his time. Now, the crazy thing about the Celtics, Tatum is up for Supermax next year. So are you know what I mean? Like, are they going to give them both Supermax? Or I could see what you said earlier, Jose. I could see, because Jaylen Brown really doesn't like ball. He clearly wants to be out of there, right? But, I mean, that type of money, like, I mean, I'll deal with that for that type of money.
Yeah, and I'll get it. I'll get a plane ticket later.
Right.
And this is also a big part of why I don't like this deal for Boston. Opportunity to trade Jaylen Brown along with Marcus Smart for Kevin Durant, who's a much better player than Jaylen Brown. And you said, no, we can't give up Marcus Smart. And then you traded Marcus Smart in a different deal for Porzingis, whatever. You had the opportunity to trade Jaylen. I mean, you still do have the opportunity to trade Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard, who I think we all know doesn't shrink in the clutch moments.
But he just doesn't win.
Doesn't look like. Well, yeah, he's on a terrible team and he's content there. But Jaylen Brown doesn't win either. So
I think the guys that we're talking about, it's easy to say, hey, they don't shrink up because there's no expectation for them to win. So they can go out there and just shoot. But when you're on a team with the expect to win, then what kind of player are they? Now, Trae Young, we don't know yet. He didn't draft himself to the Hawks, so we gotta see where he ends up in his career. But Damian Lillard is choosing to stay, where he's at,
he sure is.
or has been, yeah.
And Jaylen Brown is not the man on his own team, right?
No,
and he doesn't have that same kind of pressure. But my thing with Boston is, and this has been since Brad Stevens have been running it, they are scared to pull the trigger to make the moves to put them over the top. Yes. They have a good team, they have a deep team, and they had the opportunity to go get Paul George. They had been collecting assets to go get Paul George, and then when the moment came, they said, we'll keep our assets. Right? You had the opportunity to get Kevin Durant. You have a bunch of assets still, and when the moment came to get Kevin Durant and pair him with Jason Tatum, they said, nah, man, Marcus, our backup point guard's too important to us.
Were they supposed to get AD at one point?
They thought they were going to, but
okay.
I mean, they lost him. He was always going to Lakers, but it's just that they're not good enough, and you can't even really make a youth argument for them because those guys have been there and they've been making playoff runs from their rookie years, and it's been 6-7 years now. Like, they have a ton of experience, and they're just not good enough. They're just not getting it done, and they refuse to go and make the moves that they need to make to get them over the hump. Mm-hmm. And it looks like more of that refusal.
Right. Yeah. And didn't you say last night? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And didn't you say last night in the Eastern Conference Finals he had bookend 10-point games?
Tatum.
Oh, Tatum.
In the actual finals, not the
okay.
Not the thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tatum is not blameless in Boston. I want to make that clear, Jaylen. I'm not putting this all on you.
All right. So I want to go back to football a minute just because we're talking about athletes getting paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert just got paid more than Lamar Jackson. How? Look, it's not as egregious of a story if you think. First of all, I don't think Jaylen Brown's story was egregious. Like I said, it is what it is. Blame Boston for being too scared. But Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Very good quarterback. I'm not sure if we call him elite, right? But very good quarterback. And when you don't have to be very good. There's the thing about the NFL. You have to be good and the best available when your contract comes up, right? If the other team doesn't have better options, guess what? You win. You get your money. And this is what happened. And we knew this day was going to come because Lamar signed his contract before Herbert and Burrow, so they're going to make more money. All right. Burrow has been to 2 AFC Championship games. He's played amazing. He's been to a Super Bowl. I don't think anybody would question him making more money than Lamar Jackson, right? Justin Herbert is the one right here that we were hoping Lamar held out until he got paid, right? Because we knew that the Chargers wanted to pay Herbert. They wanted to pay him a lot, and they were going to pay him a lot. And there would be no argument at that point what Lamar Jackson should be getting. It should be more than Justin Herbert, right? Because the arguments that you make for Lamar against Lamar Jackson, for the Lamar Jackson detractors out there, is he doesn't win in the playoffs, right? That's really it. He doesn't win in the playoffs. Neither is Justin Herbert. Not only does he not win, he made it to his first playoff game last year, and what we thought was going to be a win. And listen, I don't even want to laugh at it. I feel bad for it, man. Like, that was a disaster. I've never seen a team. They were up what?
Was it a disaster?
They were about 27. They were up 27 points.
I was with Mikey when that game happened. Right? We were watching that at the casino, and we're just kept looking at the score like, this ain't over yet.
Right. What's going on here?
What's going on? You were up 27 points. You don't turn the ball over, and you lose.
Got 4 turnovers in the first half.
They got 4 turnovers in the first half, and you lose the game. Imagine if that happened to Lamar Jackson. Imagine, right? But here we are, and Coach, alluded to it before he got off screen. You have somebody in Justin Herbert who's making right now. He is the highest paid quarterback player in history right now. He's past Lamar, and nobody's really saying much about him. It's just like, yeah, okay, good for him. But there's no, it's not a headline story. Nobody, you're not hearing the Cowherds and there's no more Skip. You don't hear, you hear it's kind of a little throwaway thing. Nobody wants to spend that much time talking about it. Why is that?
Well, listen, it's because we gotta get this moving.
Yes, yeah, go.
I think it's obviously there's a lot of anti-Lamar bias. There's absolutely that. There's a lot of people who hate Lamar Jackson, don't think they didn't want him to be successful, right? But I think a bigger part of that is just on the Ravens, because the Ravens put it out there that he wasn't worth that. That's the vibe that they gave off, because they didn't want to pay him, and they made it a grueling process that dragged out for the entire season, right? And then into the off season. They didn't do that in LA. They said, he's our guy, he's that good, here's your money.
Yeah.
Kansas City said, he's our guy, he's that good, here's your money. Philly said, he's our guy, he's that good, here's your money. Baltimore's the only one who decided to get into a fist fight with their quarterback at contract time. And, Cincinnati's not going to do that either. And he's going to be the highest paid. Justin Herbert's never going to play a game as the highest paid player in NFL history. Right. It's going to be Joe Burrow by the time, I assume it's going to be Joe Burrow by the time the season starts. But yeah, and look, Justin Herbert deserves every dollar of that contract. He probably deserved more. He is a great, great young player. He's an extremely talented player. Lamar Jackson deserved his contract, and he deserved it without the drama, but EDC, Bisciotti, and Harbaugh couldn't give that to him.
Excellent point. Because, there shouldn't have been, this process shouldn't have been as drawn out as long as it was. First of all, a lot of these situations with quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks, when they come up, and I think part of it is why you don't hear much about the Herbert situation. Everybody and their mom knew that he was going to get signed. Everybody and their mom knows Burrow is going to get signed. It should have been just as simple as that with the Ravens. We're going to sign him. He's not leaving. Cut all of that jazz. He's going to be here. We working it out. Simple as that. But like you said, they made it a little bit of a mudslinging thing. It got ugly. Your franchise guy had to come out and say, even though we all kind of knew it was BS, to a sense, we knew it was him posturing, but your franchise quarterback had to come out and say, I'm requesting a trade. Like, come on, man. Like, they played a big part in how ugly this got. I'm not upset that he's gotten paid more, because as you said, Jose, it's the right time. Right place at the right time, right? They usually up one another by a few million or whatever the case may be. So I'm not mad at that side of it.
Right.
But the key caveat in this situation, which no one's really talking about, they said that young man couldn't do it without an agent, and he did it. And these other guys got agents.
So the reality is he is still the highest.
So he's still the highest. He ain't had to pay no agent to do what he did on his own. So and his team, his mom and all of them, salute to them. So man, I'm not mad at him getting a little bit more, but the Ravens mucked this situation up. It shouldn't have. It should have just been as smooth as these other situations. You know what's gonna happen. And then, like you said, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the highest paid player next year over all of them, right? When he comes up. So, it's just what it is. It's just how these contracts work. But yeah, I'm with you, B. Good point.
Thank you.
What you got, Endo?
I'm mad. I'm upset. And it's not because Justin Herbert got paid. Because listen, if most people are going to defend it by stats, most passing yards in the first 3 years, second most touchdowns in the first 3 years. The part that upsets me is when Lamar came up for his contract and he got dragged through the mud. they were saying, what makes you think you deserve $200+ million in guaranteed money?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, without his playoff win, gets up to $219 million guaranteed. They didn't bat an eyelash. Also, what people may not know is he also got a no trade clause put in his contract. So not only is he getting paid, they can't trade him.
He gonna regret that one.
Facts. And once again, Lamar, he what has he done? He couldn't do it. Justin Herbert has an all-star cast on offense, from offensive linemen to wide receivers to running back. He has an all-star cast and still couldn't win a playoff game where he was up by 27 points. But all we keep hearing is Lamar, he's 1-3 in the playoffs, 1-3, 1-3. He can't win a playoff game. Well, apparently Justin Herbert can't. So that's why I'm upset. It's not because he got his money, because we know next man up is going to make the most money. I'm a little upset at how they're whispering it, because they put that Justin Herbert got paid up on multiple websites. Yeah. And I'm telling you, an hour later, it went from a headline to one of them little small nuggets that they tucked into the side real quick. So, yeah, just like keep that same energy for everybody.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on, but I just want to add this. Herbert just got paid more. Burrow's about to get paid more. Possibly Pat Mahomes will redo his deal at some point. He's waiting for everybody to get their deals, and then they're going to redo his. Mm-hmm. So by the time this season starts, Lamar could be as low as the 4th highest paid quarterback, right? But the only person you're going to hear about is Lamar. The only person with expectations because he got paid is Lamar, right? I mean, obviously Pat Mahomes, he already got rings, like he's over there. But Herbert and Burrow aren't going to be held to the same standard. They're not going to say, well, Burrow's the highest paid quarterback now, he needs to show it. Herbert is second highest paid quarterback now. He needs to win a playoff game. You're not going to hear that narrative. You'll hear it in their local media, but you're not going to hear that in the national media. But you'll hear about Lamar getting paid this whole time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's do a quick, because man, this is dangerously close. A quick combat corner, and then we'll do a quick trivia. Listen, we did a live stream yesterday morning. There was a fight over in Japan. Naoya, the monster, Inoue.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just going to go ahead and ask the trivia question now so they can put their answers in and we can get the hell out of here.
Okay.
So, we are talking about boxing. We are talking about big time events. We got the Spence and Crawford fight coming up this Saturday that's on pay-per-view. Who is involved in the highest selling pay-per-view of all time?
Okay. Who was involved in the highest pay-per-view of all time? The highest selling pay-per-view of all time.
Type and Hendo, you're on the stream.
See, put that in there. This is for points. This is for points. So, okay. Now, Naoya, the monster, Inoue. If you didn't know who he is, a lot of you are starting to find out about him. He fought a very, very good Stephen Fulton, over in Japan, and Inoue won, and I'm gonna show you a quick clip of how that fight ended.
The way can get there quick with that jab is Fulton has a wide stance. His base is so wide, it's really hard to get in and out.
Oh, right hand hits him! Oh, a huge right hand from the monster, and then he chases him down.
Yeah, that was our boy Mikey. Me and Mikey were going for cool boy Steph. Okay, we're going for and
right hand. He slumped over like he did not realize he was in a fight. He didn't know what happened.
Yeah, and look, we'll make, Mike. Yeah, it's over. It's over. We'll make this quick. Cool boy Steph, very good fighter. Very good fighter. He was getting outclassed. He was completely outclassed in that fight. He was already losing the fight. Me and Mikey resigned ourselves to he's just going to lose a unanimous decision, and then that happened. And they call Inoue the monster for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who he is, go check out his work. He knocks out most of the people he fights.
Yeah, he ain't had to hit him that second time.
He did. I'll tell you what. He ain't have to get up.
That wasn't the end of the fight. Steph got up after that, and then Inoue finished him.
Little epilogue there, but
yeah. All right, we got some. Okay, because what's going on? What's up? Because hey, you just came in here. We asked a trivia question. Type it real quick. Who was involved in the highest selling pay-per-view fight in history? Type that in. We got some answers already.
A couple correct answers in there.
All right.
Coach is just all over the
place. Coach got like five answers here.
And I can tell he got less confidence because they're not all caps.
Right.
he was answering with his heart at first. All right, because we got less than 5 minutes. Let's do we have
enough
3
answers? Correct answers in there. Yes.
We have 3 correct answers. Okay. The answer
from D Weezy in first place, Pac-Man and Floyd Mayweather.
I was in first place.
You didn't say both of them.
You didn't say I need to say both. You just said who.
I got Jay Mayweather and Pat Quip. I don't know who that is, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, Jay. and Nitro, May versus Pot. Correct.
Okay. All right. You all get points. All right.
For you.
That's it. We are getting out of here because if you just tuned in, you don't know what we're discussing on the Overtime Show. Listen, you've heard of Cocaine Cowboys. Okay, that's a very good documentary. I think he's made like 8 variations of that documentary. All right. You heard of Cocaine Bear. Okay, Ray Liotta's last movie that he was in. Okay, very fun movie from what I heard. Okay, now you have Cocaine Sharks. Okay, it says shark because I stole this from an actual movie, but this is an actual story. This is a real story, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there are cocaine sharks on the loose, and I have Mr. OTR Mike to thank for this story. Very, very much appreciated. All right.
Oh, I forgot to give Mike his points. Oh,
you sure did.
Wow. No. I remember now. Hendo had agreed to pay you for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is perfect. He says, I was typing Two-Face. He meant fast. on that note, fellas, real quick, let the people know where they can find you. Hendo, we'll start with you.
RoPod, all social media platforms.
There you go. RoPod. There it is. Mr. OTR Mike, where can they find you?
Man, OTR _Mike on Twitter and TikTok. And then OTR Mike _ on Instagram. Follow me there. And then go over there, subscribe to the channel. Open Mic with OTR Mike.
Damn, Mike, I just looked at your points. Man, you need to watch the show.
Bro, you didn't give me all my points.
I gave you your points just now.
No. I was complaining since last week. I'm missing
about what?
I didn't get my points for my submitted question.
What submitted question?
The week before last.
What submitted question?
We'll settle this up after the show because we about to.
I'm gonna take your word for it, man. I know you as a trustworthy individual, so I'm gonna add them points right now.
All right, we are out of here. B, are you ready?
You got your OT points now. I'm ready.
B is ready. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. If you guys little $5 in your pocket, go ahead and sign up, and we will see you shortly. Patrons, get ready. The Overtime Show starts in a couple of minutes. Everybody else, thank you very much. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.